When Jesus saw Nathanael approaching, he said to him, "Here truly is an Israelite in whom there is no deceit." "How do you know me?" Nathanael asked. Jesus answered, "I saw you while you were still under the fig tree before Philip called you." Then Nathanael declared, "Rabbi, you are the Son of God. You are the King of Israel." Jesus said, "You believe because I told you that I saw you under the fig tree? You will see greater things than that." He then added, "Very truly I tell you, you will see heaven open and the angels of God ascending and descending on the Son of Man." John 1:47-51. Operating under open heaven. Wow, so sweet. Wow, I love that. When heaven opens, you experience ascending and descending of angels. That goes into the store for a believer, that it is to our advantage for heavens to stay open. Because Jacob in Genesis 28, he was sleeping there at Bethel, and he saw a randa that was from heaven touching the ground, and the angels of the Lord were descending and ascending, and the rod was at the top at the gate of heaven. Flip it the other way around. The rod in case of Jacob was there, but the rod in the case of Nathanael was here. Ooh. Whenever we are under open heaven, we experience high traffic of angelic movements instead of demonic forces. The Lord is telling Nathanael, you will see greater things than this. The heavens will open in your eyesight, and you shall see the angels are ascending, descending on the Son of Man. The point I want to make is this: what did Nathanael depend on for him to see heaven open and the angels were ascending and descending? Is simply meeting with the Son of God. Is it? Which the term used there is Son of Man. Just the moment you choose to activate a divine encounter, the moment you choose Emmanuel, God with us, there is nowhere Son of Man, Emmanuel, can be actively involved and the heavens continue closed. It's not possible. Because there must be live engagement and communication with heavens. Jesus told him, an Israelite without fault or with no deceit. Okay, number one, we need to work with the Nathaniel principles of number one, absolute sincerity and honesty. Jesus is telling Nathaniel, here truly is an Israelite in whom there is no deceit. Pure sincerity and honesty of the heart. This is what we call integrity of the heart. Number two, I saw you while you were still under the fig tree before Philip called you. Principle number two, Nathaniel observed for heavens to open in his sight, was observing the principle of sitting under a fig tree, a spiritual cover or a spiritual father. Number one, Jesus said, very truly is an Israelite whom there is no deceit, pure sincerity and honesty. Number two is sitting under the fig tree. This encounter is for someone who is operating from under the fig tree, from under a spiritual cover. Something else. Then Nathanael declared, Rabbi, you're the Son of God. You're the King of Israel. Something else that Nathanael rated on was revelation or knowledge of Christ. We are seeing him as the first one to know who Jesus is. Without Philip telling him who he is. Without anybody telling him who is this. And Nathanael is able to look at him and tell him, you are a son of God. You are the King of Israel. The ability to adopt, acknowledgeably, the true identity of Jesus Christ in terms of his possession and authority. His possession, Son of God. His authority, a king. It is until we are able to adopt into the identity of Jesus Christ as a Son of God, so that as many as they believed in him, them he gave the power to become children of God. And you're the King of Israel. The ability to walk in authority of Christ through knowledge. So the knowledge of who Jesus is. That is why we encourage people to read the Bible. Because the more you have the revelation of Jesus, the faster your heavens will open and there will be arrive communication, arrive engagement between you and the angels. The angels will be ascending and will be descending. Last but not least, Jesus said, you believe because I told you, I saw you under the fig tree. The next thing is faith. When Nathanael believed, that is when Jesus told him, you shall see heaven open. Many of us, we want our heavens to open, but we are not strong enough to see the value and importance of that heaven actually opening. You are just it's kind of we are just okay. Do you believe at last? So when we believe, then the heavens opens. The last three is the Son of Man. I declare and declare, may we walk under open heavens.